Welcome back to sports. We might be getting tropically depressed here, but just across the pond, Rory McIlroy was celebrating. It's time to hop on the Rory McIlroy bandwagon before it leaves, folks. He won the British Open this weekend and did it in convincing fashion. SEC Media Days are over, as you all know, but that just means it's time for every other conference in America to have theirs. The ACC is no exception, and the talk of the town was Jameis Winston. The Heisman winner, his goal is to ignore the offseason individual issues and focus on winning. If there was a race for getting to training camp early, and I assure you there is not, the Buffalo Bills would have won by a full 24 hours. And since there's no basketball video, I figure now is as good a time as any to talk some free agency. The Hornets signed Marvin Williams to a new deal, the Suns signed Anthony Tolliver to replace Channing Frye, and the Bucks claimed Kendall Marshall off waivers from the Lakers. In bizarre Andrew Bynum news, he says he may take the season off to undergo the Regenikine knee surgery procedure in Germany. That's all for sports. There's more news in 90 seconds, so stay with us. Welcome back to sports. We're going to get this show running with some baseball. Two NL teams in action last night, Miami Marlins and Atlanta Braves, of course. It's the second year the NBA has given out a trophy for their Las Vegas Summer League, with the Warriors winning the inaugural piece of hardware. Mike Tyson is a name we haven't heard in a while, but we'll get used to hearing it again, not because of a video game or a cameo in a movie, but because of his famous ear-biting incident. And two quick basketball notes. Kevin Love may be headed to the Bulls as they have entered the fray again in the Kevin Love sweepstakes, and SMU star recruit Emmanuel Mudiay is headed overseas to play rather than at SMU with Larry Brown, with the coach claiming the move was due to financial hardship rather than questions about his eligibility. That's all for sports. Stay tuned for more news in 90 seconds. Welcome back to sports. We're going to swing for the fences talking about baseball first today. A couple of games last night worth showing some highlights to you guys. Donald Sterling refuses to stay out of the news, and this time because he's filing yet another lawsuit. And ending sports on a little bit of a somber note. That's all for your sports. Stay tuned for more news in 90 seconds. Welcome back to sports. We've got even more baseball today. We'll get started like we did yesterday with Marlins and the Braves. This game, keeping the news in the NFL, wide receiver Justin Blackmon has been arrested for a third time, this time for marijuana possession. That's all for your sports. Stay tuned for more news in 90 seconds. Welcome back to sports. We'll get this show started as we have almost every day this week. Marlins and Braves. Gotta love it, folks. It's the last game, though, I promise. All of the NFL teams are finally in training camp, and of course, I have the video for you. We'll get started in the north and make our way down the state as the Jags will kick us off. All three of those teams will be rebounding from somewhat tough seasons in 2013 and hope to be serious competitors come September. And the Los Angeles Lakers have finally offered their head coaching spot to Byron Scott, a former Laker himself. He won 3 titles with Magic Johnson and has had stops in New Jersey, New Orleans, and Cleveland as a head coach. He was also the NBA's Coach of the Year in 2008. That's all for your sports. Stay tuned for more news in 90 seconds.